What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're a catalyst for meaningful conversation. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang, and most weeks we dive into movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. This week, we've got our first episode of 2026, and this is the first episode of Movies That Make You podcast Season 2. We're welcoming POPpaGoss to the show as the official co-host, and we are super excited about this year. We're going to kick this first episode off with our most anticipated films for 2026. We are excited about this new year and this new season. We hope you'll go check out our website. It's bio.site/movies that make you. There you'll find all of our links to all of our social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can also check out our letterbox, which shows you all of our lists on the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. Before we dive into this week's episode, though, let's take a look at the next few weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, we've got the creators of ZombieCon coming back to the show to talk about their top 5 zombie movies of all time. POPpaGoss and I share our top 5s. Aaron and Kyle share their top 5s, and then we actually build the collaborative top 5 list that ends up being epic. All of this in preparation for 28 years later, The Bone Temple, that drops that Friday. The week after that, we've got the Silent Hill movies we're going to be talking about in preparation for Return to Silent Hill, dropping in theaters that Friday. POPpaGoss and I have a special guest, first timer on the show, Matt from Spookyoki. So we're excited to have him on the show to talk about these crazy films. The week after that, POPpaGoss and I welcome Sidekick Inc. to discuss Sam Raimi movies, all in preparation for Send Help, dropping in theaters that Friday. We're going to talk through all of his highlights and his lowlights and enjoy the conversation around this incredible director. Hope those episodes excite you. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast. We are back. The first episode of 2026. We are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Sprang. I am joined by my full-time co-host, Mr. POPpaGoss. What is happening, my man?
What is going on, man? How exciting. I can't believe we're in 2026 already.
I know, it's crazy. And we've already kind of been living a little bit in 2026 with all. We've already done an interview. We've already done 3 episodes for January. And so we've been living in the future
for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're Marty and Doc, living in the future. Oh man, I can't tell you how awesome it was to rewatch the episode from that we did on Christmas Eve, because I edited it for the podcast version.
Oh, yeah.
And so just to watch it, and like every time, like I had, and if you haven't gotten back to watch it, you want to go back and watch it. It's great. But every time I called in a new guest, like Colton and Connor and Zeke and Jacob were all just like, what?
Yeah, right.
Like every single time they're like, what is going on here? So it was pretty epic. But big thank you to all the special guests that helped us out on that episode. And big thank you to you, man. You drove over and popped in physically, just blew their minds. You give them presents. I mean, it was just like the best day ever. And Colton like ran out in the other room and changed shirts so he could put on the shirt you gave him right then and there. Like Kristen was like, he never does that. Like, but it was just like, he was so into it and it was so exciting for them. So man, what a great surprise. Cause you didn't tell me until like the day before. You're like, hey, I think I'm going to drop in. Like, all right, let's try it.
Yeah, no, it was just I was already I didn't know for sure if I was going to be driving down on that day or the day before. And we ended up leaving the day before. So we were already there, not too far, like 40 minutes from you. And my son and I just stopped in, and I had my Santa tracksuit that I've had for 5 years. So I thought it'd be fun to just kind of get in the Christmas spirit, Plus, I hadn't met the other boys. I'd only met Jacob in person, so it was fun to meet everybody, and the parents were there too, so that was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We had a good time over Christmas break, I guess. I took the whole week off from work. Kristen wasn't able to, but I was able to take the whole week off, so just be there with Jacob and my parents and hang out. So that was fun. I did some podcast stuff work wise, just to get all of our social media is all updated now to season 2. Got a little bit of color in there. We've got featuring POPpaGoss everywhere as well. And then we launched our TikTok. So go check out TikTok. TikTok's going to be going. So this episode we'll have some clips that go out on TikTok as well, starting with this episode. I just didn't want to put the kids on TikTok necessarily. I don't know. I
Right.
didn't know how it would hit on TikTok with it being a little bit more. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No,
I
it's
don't know.
probably
Just yeah.
it's a
Just
good call. Yeah, it's a good call.
YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels feel like there's a lot more kind of kid content out there.
Sure.
So yeah, so starting today, first episode of 2026, we are on TikTok. So be sure to check us out over there. And it's really cool too. Like we got like 50 something followers on Facebook. So you help us out, get over to Facebook and get us up to 100 followers on there. That means that when we do a live stream, we can stream on TikTok and Facebook
Yeah.
and YouTube. So trying to just be where y'all are at, wherever you are, we want to be there. So should be
Plus,
fun.
there's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, we got some. We're not even, just scratching the surface of 2026, but there's some cool stuff in the works. So you guys will be up to date on whatever's going on. Both of our lives, like, well, you'll see all the stuff. So make sure you're following because you don't want to miss important things.
Absolutely. And I think the first one that we can talk about is we've already announced it, but it's dropping this Friday. And that is our interview with Preston Poulter for Frontier Crucible. And
Yeah.
that was just an amazing, amazing conversation. Excited for you guys to check that out. We're going to be doing at least one interview a month. We'll be dropping those on a Friday of that month. And then we're also going to be doing one live stream / watch along a month. And so we haven't scheduled January's yet, but just be on the lookout. Probably every other weekend kind of thing. We're going to have an interview or we'll have a watch along. So there's some good stuff in the works. So like Josh said, be sure to follow us on social media so you know what's happening. Very cool. Well, this episode being the first one of 2026, I've done this now. This will be the third year that we've done this episode. And it's basically
Nice.
like, what are you excited for in the coming year? And we were going to do like a top 5, that kind of a thing. But there's so much going on. There's so much coming out that I didn't want to leave off things just because we only had 5 spots. I mean, I
Yeah.
just jumped on IMDb and like I'm at 50 ranked by like popularity.
Yep.
And there's stuff like Toy Story
Same here.
5 is 35. Like, how is Toy Story 5 35th on this list?
I know.
Mortal Kombat 2 is 37th on the list. Like, this is just Ready or
No,
Not, Here I Come is 40th on.
insane.
It's crazy. So
Oh, yeah.
many good movies. So I don't know. How do you want to break this down? Do you want to do it like by month, or you want to just kind of
we can either do
throw
that
some stuff out?
Yeah, or we can just I maybe start from the lower part of the list and then
Okay.
work up to like the big bad boys,
Sure.
or girls.
Yeah. Let's hit like maybe 5 at a time until we get to like the top 10 or something like that.
Okay.
So like I've got this is on Internet Movie Database, IMDb.com. I've got 46 through 50. We've got Jimmy, we've got How to Make a Killing, we've got Clayface, we've got The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, and then The Adventures of Cliff Booth. I know that one of those was going to be on your top 5. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
5?
So, I can't believe Clayface is that low, but I'm like super amped. I mean, not only they haven't announced if Flanagan's going to direct it yet, but he's definitely going to be involved. I don't know if he'll bring in, James Wan or any, but since James Wan worked on Aquaman, like I don't know if he'll bring him in. I'm obviously James Gunn will be producing it as well, so I'm excited. It's going to be in the Batman universe, obviously, but it's going to be dark and horror-esque, and especially if Mike Flanagan ends up directing it. I mean, I can't imagine what he can do with a character who we haven't seen in live action. We've seen him a bunch on animated and different. He's hilarious on I don't know if anyone's watched the Harley Quinn cartoon series. He is one of my favorite characters, and that just because I think it's Alan Tudyk is the voice of him, and he's like all proper and he has his Alan Tudyk isms. But yeah, I'm stoked for Clay. they haven't released a ton of information yet, but we just know that Mike Flanagan's involved. So I can't wait. And maybe, just maybe, it'll be in the Robert Pattinson universe of Batman, but maybe they'll just decide to put it in with whatever they got planned.
Yeah.
And then obviously Adventures of Cliff Booth, I'm super stoked for, because that's a
Yeah.
character who Brad Pitt won an Oscar in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know a lot of people aren't happy with Quentin Tarantino right now, but that movie is fantastic, and Brad Pitt is incredible in that role. And actually, one of my all-time favorite directors is doing this one, David Fincher. If
Yeah.
you're a cinephile, obviously Fincher is the man. I mean, he very rarely misses, and when he does miss, it's not even by that much. So
Yeah.
I'm super stoked for that. I don't know a ton about. I've seen bits and pieces of the cartoon Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a popular series. I know who Aang is, but I have never really watched this stuff, so I don't know a whole lot on that for our audience. And then I haven't even heard of these other two, How to Make a Killing and
Yeah.
Jimmy. I haven't heard of those two, but yeah, Clayface and Adventures of Cliff Booth. I cannot wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm with you on both of those. And I'm kind of with you also with Last Airbender. Last Airbender. I've seen. I mean, we saw the M. Night Shyamalan version, which was awful. Um, but and I've watched some of the cartoon when it's been on, when the boys have
yeah,
had it on. And they were fans of that. I think for me, the best part about Last Airbender was that it gave us Dave Filoni, sorry,
yeah.
who then gave us some of the best Star Wars content ever. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I think I think they're trying to make it legit. And they actually also did a series recently on Netflix for
Right.
Airbender. So
I heard
it'll
it's
be,
good. Yeah,
yeah, I heard good things about that. One thing I did want to mention about Clayface is there's another version of Clayface that I know of from the Arkham universe, the Arkham
yeah.
City game. It was a huge part of that game. Spoiler alert for those of you that haven't played it, but he actually was Joker for majority of the
Yeah.
game. He was imitating the Joker because the Joker was sick and it didn't want anybody to know. So he was acting like the Joker, being the Joker, and then you had to fight him at the end, and then ended up the real Joker came out, kind of as a surprise and all that stuff. So
Such a great game. So if you guys
yeah,
play video games out there, like, and you haven't played any of the Arkham games, it is, especially if you're a fan of Batman, it is
yeah,
the must,
absolutely,
because you've always dreamt of being Bat. Like, this is your shot. Um, and speaking of the Star Wars relation, the Last Airbender, one of the voices in the movie is D. Bradley Baker, who actually worked on like Rebels, I think, and he's been on some
nice,
of the animated Star Wars series. So we got Ke Huy Quan, Oscar winner, Dave Bautista, Taika Waititi is a voice in it.
wow,
Stephen Yoon is going to play Zuko, which I know is a big character. So it's pretty cool. But yeah,
yeah,
I know very minimal of that universe, but the animation, the first photo came out from it, and it looks pretty cool. So more
that's
of an
awesome,
anime style, like hardcore anime style, not just like Nickelodeon cartoonish
yeah,
style. So that should be cool. But yeah, Clayface, even on the animated series, was just such a like fun. It's like Marvel's version is like Sandman or
mm-hmm,
Hydra Man or whatever, like kind of conform into anything, and pretty cool. But yeah, Clayface in the Batman the Animated Series was so cool when I was younger. So I can't wait for them to bring it to real. And I'm really hoping they use a lot of practical effects, knowing Mike Flanagan's hands on it. So
mm-hmm,
I that makes me even more excited to see it. So
yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right, the next five. This is 45 through 41. We've got Fokker in Law, Crime 101, Shelter, Ebenezer: A Christmas Carol, and then Violent Night 2.
ooh, we were just
So
talking about Violent Night.
yes, yeah. So on these, I mean, I definitely all of these sound interesting to me. This is kind of like what I was saying, like, how do you do a top 10 when there's so many bangers? Not that
Right.
any of these are going to be like your best movie of the year, but we all love the Fokker universe. The
Right.
Fokker verse, if you will.
Yeah.
We all love Chris Hemsworth with this movie that's coming out, like I think in January. Crime 101 looks like a little bit of like Baby Driver, but more serious. He's and it's interesting. It's fun. It's a caper. It's all that stuff. You got Jason Statham in Shelter, which is just like you're gonna get. You know what you're getting. You're getting a fun action movie, and then you got Violent Night 2, which is Santa Claus is taking out bad guys. I mean, it's like this is great. And then you throw in as Ebenezer a Christmas Carol, throw in another iteration of Charles Dickens' classic novel. So I mean, it's just those are some fun movies, and that's 41 through 45. So it's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, Crime 101 was directed by the same guy who did American Animals, which is on a true story.
Yeah,
Really underrated movie. I know it didn't, I don't think it had a huge theatrical run, but I remember I watched it a few times when it hit streaming, and I thought it was great, great performances, really cool story. So I'm excited to see what he does with a bigger cast like Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and you're pairing up Avengers. So what
yeah,
more can you ask for?
exactly. Well, and then you got Catwoman in there too with Halle
Oh,
Berry.
yeah, that's
So
right. Yep.
yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean,
Heck yeah.
it's I think it's releasing in January. So for those of you that don't know, January is kind of somewhat considered a dumping ground for movies that aren't going to do great, but there's nothing else coming out, so they just drop them in
Right.
January. But in recent years, we've gotten some really solid horror movies in January. We got some that are going to come up on this list that look pretty fun too. This one's going to be in January, so that usually means it's not going to be great. But then you go on with low expectations, and then you're like surprised by how much fun you had,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, Violent Night 2. I mean, I really enjoyed David Harbour as Santa Claus in Violent Night, the
Right.
first one.
Yeah.
It was just fun, different take on the thing. And I actually have, if you want to go check us out on Letterbox, I've got a list on there called because all of our lists are make you laugh, make you cry, make you scream, right? So I've created one this year that's make you scream at carolers, and so it's Christmas horror movies, so holiday horror movies. So Violent Night 2 is definitely going to be on that list, and so is also some other great horror holiday films like what just came out, Silent Night, Deadly Night, a remake. I went and saw that a couple weeks ago. So lots of fun like holiday horror out there.
Also, I just was looking at Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. It was directed by Ty West, who did the X trilogy. It's starring Johnny Depp as Scrooge. Daisy Ridley is in it. Ian McKellen is in it. Rupert Grant is in it. So that's very intriguing, actually. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I hadn't even heard of that announced. So Ty West doing a Christmas Carol tale. It's not. It doesn't look like from the synopsis they're gonna make it a like a horror film. I'm sure he'll have his like
Right.
horror esque things with the ghosts of past, present, and future. But yeah, Johnny Depp's riding the comeback train. So hopefully that'll be pretty fun.
Absolutely. All right, next five. We got 36 through 40. Starting at 40, going down. We got Ready or Not 2, called Ready or Not Here I Come. We've got People
Nice.
We Meet on Vacation. We've got Jumanji 3. That's with The Rock and Kevin Hart. We've got the Mortal Kombat 2 film
Oh,
with Johnny
so
Cage.
good.
And then we've got The Breadwinner with Nate Bargatze.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on some of those?
Yeah, I just saw the trailer to The Breadwinner yesterday actually, and it looked. I mean, I like Nate as a comedian. I think he's a clean comic, but he he's been around for a long time. He's just now getting kind of his like recognition and getting super popular, which is cool. So I'm happy for him. He seems like a good guy. Um, yeah, good. Mandy Moore, I think, plays his wife in the movie. And it looks fun. I mean, it's like your typical. I don't want to call it a rom com, but like a family comedy, but like kind of with some adult humor.
Mm-hmm.
Think like the Ed Helms Vacation, but it might not be that mature. But yeah, like that style of movie. Um, Mortal Kombat 2, I mean, I know it's not a good sign that they keep pushing the release because it was supposed to come out this past year, but they keep pushing it. I think this is the third or fourth time they've moved it. But hopefully that's for good reasons and not bad reasons. So the first trailer I thought was awesome. I'm a huge Carl Urban fan. Cannot wait to see him as Johnny Cage. His Funko Pop already has come out on. I've seen it in the stores a few times, and I'm like, yes, Johnny Cage, because such a fun character. I mean, I have some friends back in Colorado who are obsessed with Mortal Kombat, and so I miss talking about Mortal Kombat, but it's just such a fun franchise. So I hope I really like what they did with the first one and the practical effects and making it not as cheesy as like the 90s one, even though I have a lot of love for the first 90s one because I was a little kid when that came out. I remember renting it on pay-per-view and just having a ball with it, and even as I've gotten older. So fun franchise. Jumanji, I do actually enjoy those movies. I When they first announced the first Jumanji, and they said the cast and everything, and I was just like, I think a lot of us were like, you can't do another Jumanji movie without Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I heard the synopsis of how they were going to do it, and I was like, that sounds ridiculous, whatever. And then they came out and like they broke record, like they're so
Yeah.
fun. And I mean, you can't ask for more cohesive cast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all four of the main people do comedic timing and work well with each other. Like they're all best friends in real, like Kevin Hart and Dwayne the Rock Johnson are best friends. Jack Black's kind of thrown in there every once in a while, and he's fantastic in everything he touches. And I love Karen Gillan, so I've been a huge fan of hers for a long time. So I'm excited. I mean, I I can't I need to watch the second Jumanji again because I saw it just the one time when it came out, and so I need to rewatch it just because I can't remember all the fun stuff that was in that. But the first one I loved a lot, so I'm hoping they do a good job. I haven't heard of People We Meet on Vacation, so I don't have a lot to say about that. And then obviously Ready or Not 2, the first one. We just talked about this the other night too. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is a lot of fun. I mean, it was kind of low budget, and Samara Weaving, Hugo Weaving's daughter, stars in it, and she did a fantastic job in the first one. And it's just a lot of fun, and the fan base has really kind of latched on to hopefully more sequels, and we got the second one coming out soon. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna definitely have a lot of fun on that podcast when we prep for Ready or Not
Yeah,
too. But yeah, that was the one that stood out to me as being one I'm super excited for. Just a really fun premise, insane premise, and then you get a lot of fun out of it. And I was going to mention Danny DeVito and the guy from Lethal Weapon,
Danny
Danny
Glover.
Glover.
Yeah, I
They
forgot they
were
were in the second one.
they were
Yeah,
in the second one, and the funny part was the old people being in the young bodies,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
that was another
yeah.
twist on it.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
and for Mortal Kombat 2 being moved, the one thing I think that it's saving grace is that it was like in August, September of this year, and they moved it to July, which is usually like you're only going to put things in July in the summer that's going to actually hit. And
Right,
so I'm
big
hoping
blockbusters.
that's like you were saying, good or bad reason. I think that sounds like a good reason
I
to
think you're onto something there. I
yeah.
think that is a big part of it. I know they had a couple of like edits to redo,
Mm-hmm.
which is what they said they moved it originally. So like I'm hoping that's the case. But you're probably right. I mean, you got to have like all your big blockbusters need to come out around like the same 4 or 5 month period, just so
Mm-hmm.
you're keeping your year totals like pretty well balanced in the middle.
Yeah. And then for Breadwinner, like I saw the trailer, I'm like, yeah, this is Nate Bargatze playing Nate Bargatze. It's the best. Like
Right.
he's gonna do great. It's gonna be funny. His humor is funny, and it's gonna be hilarious just seeing him in those situations that he talks about in the stand-up comedy. Right? It's like it's when you've got Jerry Seinfeld playing Jerry Seinfeld on the
Yeah.
Seinfeld show, right? Like
Yeah.
it works. It works because it's you surround them with people that can actually carry some of the other heavy load, and then he can just be himself and just. I mean, it's so funny. He's got a donut walking out on the stage at a Shark Tank, and they're just like, "Get out of here, man! What are you doing, you big loser?" Just I didn't know what to do with it. It's just so funny. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go down the next 5. We've got
Ooh,
Toy
man, we
Story
got some
5.
bangers.
Yeah, Toy Story 5 at 35, Cold Storage at 34, Goat, which is an animated film produced by the Golden State Warrior. I'm blanking on his name.
Steph
Oh, Steph
Curry.
Curry. Yep.
Yeah.
And then 32 is Michael, which is the Michael Jackson biopic, and then Scream 7 at 31.
Woo!
So, I mean, yeah, there's some
Neither of us want to see that one.
exactly, exactly. So I will say I'm interested in Toy Story 5. Like I think I'm somewhat with the Quentin Tarantino saying that we should have just stopped at 3. Like
Yeah.
3 was such a perfect ending. It was like, and I'll still like let that stay a trilogy in my brain.
Exactly.
Because it was so great. Now they can tell more stories. That's fine. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the voices, all that stuff. The goat actually looks really cute. And I think it definitely is. It's playing. It's the whole point is that he's small. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of Zootopia. He's small, and everybody else in this sport is huge, large animals, and so he's going to prove that he can hang out and he can do well in the sport. And I think that plays a lot into actually what was probably said about him as a guard in the league, that he's not going to do great in college. He's not going to do great in the league because he's too small. And so look at what he's done with the game. He's changed the game since he joined the league. I'm also a huge Michael Jackson fan growing up in the 90s. I really enjoyed his music. And just to know how incredibly insane his music was and how fast he rose to fame, from being a child singing with his brothers to then going solo and then just having hit after hit after hit, and just the iconicness of his character, not just him as a person, but his character was so. I remember watching the music videos and stuff and seeing the live concerts and people just going nuts and having to be pulled out of the crowd and all that stuff. And it's insane. So I am interested to see how they're going to handle some of the negative side of his story, because there is some negative side to his story. But from what I've seen in the trailer, it looks like you're going to get a really, really good biopic, musician biopic. And then, of course, one of my favorite series of all time, Scream, having the 7th one, them kind of having to switch things around with the cast and the story, bringing some of the old folks back, Matthew Lillard coming back, all that stuff. Sidney Prescott's daughter is now being targeted, so looks to be interesting. I'm going to be there opening night if I can, because I just love Scream so much. But yeah, that's kind of my take on those 5.
Yeah, no, you nailed it on the head. I think not only Quentin says stuff about the first trilogy of Toy Story, but like fans in general. I mean, the 4th one was really good. I mean, it was well made. But yeah, like the 3rd one just ended so well, and that I don't think they originally had even as much money and people who love the franchise. Like, I don't think they envision having to like make more sequels down the road. Um, and I mean, they even have like the spin-off ones on like Disney Plus, like the little short films from Toy, and it's like the actual voice actors and stuff. But I mean, I'll watch it. I don't know if I'll go to the theaters to see Toy Story 5, but I'll be interested to see what the story is and everything. Um, I was looking at this, what's it called?
Cold Storage. Yes,
Cold
I know. I
storage.
skipped that one. I saw
Yeah,
the
the
trailer for it
writer
this weekend. It's so great.
So the writer of that movie is David Kep, and he's worked a ton with like Spielberg and Sam Raimi, and like some of his writing credits, you guys will be like, "Holy crap!" I mean, he's written Jurassic Park, Toy Soldiers, Carlito's Way, The Shadow, Mission Impossible. Snake Eyes, Stir of Echoes, Panic Room, Spider Man, A Secret Window, Zathura, War of Worlds, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We'll forgive you on that one. Angels and Demons, um, Premium Rush, which
Premium
was a
Rush,
fun
yeah.
one. He did Inferno and Angels and Demons from Dan Brown,
Mm-hmm.
based off the books. He did the Mummy. I'm assuming that's the Tom Cruise one. He also did the new Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. He did that movie with Soderbergh, Black Bag, that just
Yeah.
came out recently. And then Jurassic World Rebirth, which also just came out. So long line of work as a screenplay writer. So and it looks like the cast is pretty good. We got Joe Keery, who's hot off of Stranger Things, and Liam Neeson's also in it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Oh, Susie Bacon, who was really great in the first Smile movie. She's in it as well. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that one might be kind of fun. It's only an hour and 39 minutes, so it's a quick one, but it looks like it might be kind of like a thriller comedy
Mm-hmm.
combined. So that one might be semi fun. Go, yeah, it's probably it'll be fun. I mean, there's not a lot of animated movies that come out every year, so it'll probably be up there with some of the ones that are released.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, I'm very, very excited. My first CD I ever got was Thriller. My aunt bought it
Nice.
for me when I was like 5 years old, and that like opened my eyes to so much, my love
Mm-hmm.
for music, my just, I mean, I started just watching anything that dealt with Michael Jackson, like, because he was just, he was the king of pop. He's impressive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the way they're talking about this movie and the way they filmed it is really cool too. Plus, didn't what's his face direct it?
Yeah. Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah, Antoine Fuqua. So like that dude's been
Yeah.
around for a while and done some incredible Oscar nominated movies. So there's a lot of talk on listen to a lot of movie podcasts, and people are saying they think this might be the first biopic that makes $1 billion, or can get close to it. So
Yeah.
if anybody can do it, it's bigger than life Michael Jackson. So I'm excited for that one. And his nephew is playing Michael Jackson in the movie.
Yeah.
So his real life nephew. So I mean, they didn't just go find some nobody. It's somebody that is family. So pretty cool. And then obviously Scream 7. I thought the first trailer was great. I mean, it didn't give a lot away. Had few little things in there that you go, oh, okay, cool. That might be
Mm-hmm.
what that is. Um, and I've enjoyed the sequels up to this point, so I'm excited to see what they do and how they bring Matt back. I'm assuming it'll be like they did with Skeet in the last one, but who knows? Maybe he's still alive. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anything you see in movies, I mean, even you can throw this out the way with many horror films, but especially if you don't see them die on screen, then they're not. There's always the chance they can come back. We did see him losing a lot of blood. We did see him, passing out probably, but we never saw him dead and gone. So
Actually dead. Yeah.
yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I might have to. When does that come out? In
In
March?
February.
February.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to. Maybe we'll meet up for that one.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. All right, next 5, we've got 30 through 26. We got Super Mario Galaxy movie. We've got Moana, the live action. We've got Werewolf by the same guy that did Nosferatu.
Robert
We've got,
Eggers.
yes, The
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada 2. And then we've got a movie called The Drama. Looks to be about a wedding week off the rails. Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, and directed by Christopher Borgli. Yeah, that's the first time seeing about that one. But
Dang.
how are those? How's that 5 hitting you?
That's another good 5. My son's really getting into the first Super Mario movie, and I've been a fan of Mario for long. I mean, my brother, we had Nintendo, all the Nintendos, the 64, GameCube. So I mean, we played Mario Party, Mario Kart, all that stuff. And I thought they did a fantastic job with the first movie. So I'm really excited. This one's going to incorporate Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy, which will be cool. So I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
be. I thought the teaser was nice because it didn't really like give you much. It just that title of the Galaxy logo alone was cool enough. Lana should probably be really good. I mean, I know that's a popular franchise. My son, he likes the first one, some of the music in it. So I'm sure we'll end up watching that when it hits streaming. Werewolf, I mean, obviously ecstatic for Robert Eggers, I think is one of,
Mm-hmm.
if not one of the most talented. He's definitely a top five director working today. Just the way he uses shading and black and white, and just the way he can film a dark movie the entire way through, but make it his own thing and more vibrant with every scene that he does. Like what he did with Nosferatu. I mean, even if you don't like the movie as a whole, like that movie was shot so incredibly well. And a lot of credit
Percent.
goes
Yeah.
to his cinematographer that he works with. But yeah, I mean, werewolves, awesome. I'll watch anything with werewolves, and if Robert Eggers is doing it, it's going to be pretty cool. He's going to have his own little twist on it. I'm sure we'll see his boy Willem Dafoe will probably pop up. I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's already cast in it. So he likes to work with people he's already worked with. Actually, it looks like most of the Nosferatu, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp, and Ralph Ineson are all in the
Oh,
movie. So I'm assuming Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to be the star. So that should be awesome, and I can't wait for that one. And then, sorry, I just scrolled up. Devil Wears Prada 2. It's been a long time since I've seen the first one. It is fun. I mean,
mm-hmm.
you can't go wrong with Meryl Streep. It's a fun one.
Looks
Oh
like they're
man,
bringing in Sydney Sweeney into that.
wow, that
So
kind of makes sense for the time. Well, they got to modernize it, so
mm-hmm.
they'll try to draw the younger crowds that like her with the old crowds. So should be good. And then that drama, yeah, I'm like you. I haven't heard about that, but I mean, shoot, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. I mean, sign me up for that all
Yeah,
day.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on Galaxy. I mean, Zeke loves Mario. He loved the first movie, and so we're gonna be at the theater probably to watch that one. Moana live action. I mean, it's one of the most recent. This is probably the closest where they've turned animated into live action. I mean, that
Right.
Moana is not very old, and to them to already kind of turn that into and like you said, it became super popular because of the subject matter, plus the music. Lin-Manuel Miranda just blew up after
But
Moana.
yeah.
He was already popular because of Hamilton, and then that just kind of put him on a world stage in a different way. And yeah, Werewolf, Robert Eggers. I mean, I've loved all of his films. I will have to say, The Lighthouse was a little bit rough to watch, um,
Yeah,
but
it's out
it's,
there for sure.
but I think the but everything that he does well is still highlighted, even if the story is a
Oh
little
yeah.
odd. It still is
Yeah.
highlighted. Anxious to see what they do with the Devil Wears Prada 2. That'll be a fun one. Kind of bring in Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway back for that. So should be good. Cool. All right, here we go to our
Another good five coming up
another
here.
5 hitting right here. Number 25, Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu. Number 24, The Bride. Number 23, Return to Silent Hill. 22, Masters of the Universe, and 21, Narnia.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a stacked list, man. You've got Greta Gerwig coming off of her huge Barbenheimer explosion, pun intended. And then her next project is Chronicles of Narnia. So I'm very interested to see her take on this. I grew up reading the books, knowing the stories, and all the kind of the inside out of those stories. They tried to do a series. They did 3 movies in like the 6-book series. It was kind of around the Lord of the Rings time, but it was just a little bit more. It wasn't as well received. I think the first one did fine, but then it was diminishing returns on the next 2. So I am excited that they're doing it. I think it'll be cool, and I think Greta Gerwig's take on it is going to be a unique one. So I'm anxious for that one. Masters of the Universe. I think this is one that I don't even know what to expect. I grew up not being allowed to play with He-Man or watch He-Man.
Right.
And I still haven't seen the original with Dolph Lundgren, but I'm planning to before we see this one. But this one's also got, other crazy actors in it too. Marina Baccarin, Idris Elba, Jared Leto. Being directed by Travis Knight, who did incredibly well with Bumblebee, as well as other movies, but taking those kind of the 80s properties and modernizing them. So that'll be fun. Return to Silent Hill, we're excited for that one. Had Matt Spokioki on the podcast
Yes,
to
we
talk through
did.
that one. And so interested to see how that pans out. The Bride, another one I'm super interested in. That's another of those kind of classic movies I have not seen. I have not seen like those, Bride of Frankenstein. I haven't seen the old Frankenstein. I haven't seen. I've seen the Nosferatu, but I haven't seen like the 1950s Dracula. I did watch the Wolfman for last year's Wolfman. But yeah, I mean those are some classic stories I want to watch before seeing The Bride. And it definitely is a unique take. It looks more steampunk take than it is kind of classic. Kind of that's a lot of fun with Maggie Gyllenhaal directing. And then also, I mean, I will have to say I'm having mixed feelings with Mandalorian and Grogu. I liked the first season of The Mandalorian. I enjoyed the second season. I enjoyed Boba Fett. I just don't know what they're gonna do with this movie to make it not feel like a Disney Plus movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the trailers look funny, but it's also one of those things like one of the criticisms that keeps coming to me is how people were kind of frustrated with The Last Jedi because the humor didn't feel like Star Wars humor. And some of the humor that I've seen on the trailer doesn't feel like Star Wars humor either. It's funny because Grogu's doing something silly, but that doesn't always mean it's
Yeah.
Star Wars. So I'm open for it. I'm hoping it does well, but it's just interesting. That's kind of where I'm at on that one.
Yeah, no, I was gonna go along with that too. I mean, you nailed it on the head. The Star Wars fans are already like very, very. Actually, it's funny that we're bringing this movie up because my wife and I just went and had dinner before we picked our son up, and we were talked about something Star Wars related that came up, and I was like, yeah, Star Wars fans are just like. I mean, I love Star Wars to death, but I
Mm-hmm.
also, like I know the last trilogy was not up to standards for what we expect, but neither were the prequels when those first came out. Like nobody, and now they love them. So like I think as time, I remember when Last Jedi came out, I remember people said wait, give this movie like 20 years and people will like appreciate Last Jedi once they go
Mm-hmm.
back and they're like, oh, you know what? That actually was pretty smart. Last Jedi I actually enjoyed a lot, especially the second watch. And then obviously Rise of Skywalker, I think they just rushed it too fast and then they had to switch directors in the middle of it and it was just already changed so much. So I don't put a lot of blame on Rise of Skywalker. I still enjoyed parts of that.
Mm-hmm.
But same as you, like I love the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. I loved a couple of episodes in Book of Boba Fett. I thought it was fun, especially like the final episode of Boba Fett was really fun. Um, but yeah, same as you. Like I haven't finished. I've been so busy. I still have not finished the season 3 of Mandalorian. So like I gotta go back and watch that before I watch this. But yeah, like the trailer, the minute felt I thought it was just another season of Mandalorian was coming out
Mm-hmm.
just on the big screen. So like you just said, I don't know what they can add or change in the story to make it more not like the TV show and like get us excited for the Star Wars universe. I mean, apart from Jon Favreau directing, like
Yeah.
obviously he's amazing at pretty much everything he touches, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. And I mean, I think it'll be fun. There'll be some cool scenes. Obviously, with the Disney Plus series, they like to throw in little things that make the fans go, ooh, ah, and like stop and they don't even care about the story for a second because we're just so fascinated with what we just, the fan service that we see. So there'll probably be a lot of that. But I'm all
Yeah.
here for that stuff. The Bride, I cannot wait for that movie. I mean, when I heard it was announced, I was already intrigued. Christian Bale starring in it and Maggie Gyllenhaal directing, and obviously they worked on The Dark Knight together, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been close friends for a long time. And then the first trailer came out, and I mean the trailer was so awesome, like not what I was expecting at all. And I was like, it's like a noir thriller, like a crime gangster movie, but set in the story of the Bride of Frankenstein. So really cool. I cannot wait to see that on the big screen. I don't make it to the theaters very often, but that one I would love to see on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Return to Silent Hill. I'm excited. I'm intrigued, only because the second one that we got years ago didn't wasn't the best movie. The first one was pretty solid, and you guys will have to check out our episode coming up to prep you for Return to Silent Hill. But we're excited. I mean, I think it'll have some cool stuff. They're bringing back the director of the first movie, so that should be somewhat of a help.
Mm-hmm.
Masters of the Universe. I wasn't like you, like I wasn't not allowed to watch He-Man and stuff, but I've never really like dove into the Masters of the Universe realm. Like I've watched bits and pieces of things here and there because I have a lot of friends, especially my Funko collector friends who like are obsessed with Masters of the Universe and retro
Mm-hmm.
stuff and all that. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Travis Knight is there's some people who've already got to see the early cut of the movie at some screenings, some test screenings, and most of the people who came out of that said what they saw was like really awesome. So
Cool.
I'm hoping it's at least fun, especially for because you're gonna want to get the people who don't know a lot about it and the people who do know a lot about it. You're definitely want to please them. So like I think Travis Knight did a great job with Bumblebee. He also did a Kubo and the Two Strings, which was like claymation, which was awesome. So he's worked on a lot of claymation, like Paranorman, which is one of my favorite animated films, and so he's really talented. So I'm excited to see what the final product looks like. And then Narnia, I read those books as a kid and I loved them. And I actually was a big fan of the first two movies that they did.
Yeah.
Especially, I remember seeing Prince Caspian in the theater, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was so much fun, and I know they just over the years have been trying to do more sequels and do remakes and stuff like that, and it just has never panned out. But I'm hoping putting somebody that's ascending in the directing world like Greta Gerwig, I think that'll be good for all of us who love movies. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool.
Nice. All right. Next up, we've got Sam Raimi's Send Help at number
Yeah.
20. We got Wuthering Heights at 19. Project Hail Mary at 18. 17 is The Rip. And 16 is Supergirl.
Ooh.
What you got?
So I'll start from 16. So yeah, Supergirl. All of you, I'm assuming, have seen James Gunn's Superman. She had a real quick end credit scene. But the trailer just dropped. I believe 2 week or last week. I think was the first teaser trailer for Supergirl. So looks awesome. I know. Jason Momoa is playing Lobo, which is like a really
Mm-hmm.
popular under the radar DC character. So I heard he's gonna be really great in it. And I think the girl looks the part. I don't know her very well. I know she's been on like Game of Thrones and some other stuff, but I mean, she looks the part. I really liked Kara, what's her face, who played her in or no,
Flash.
that not yeah, I forget her name, but anyway, the she played Supergirl recently in The Flash, and I thought she
Hmm.
was really good. One of the bright spots of that movie.
Yeah, Sasha
But
Kelly.
yeah, that's yeah. And she was awesome. But I mean, I'm excited. This is more like the comic version of Supergirl, the Supergirl movie that we got in the 90s. Um so I mean, it should be fun, and James Gunn is still producing it. He's not directing it, so he'll still have his hand on it. And I'm sure there'll be some Superman stuff from his universe in there. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think it'll be fun. The Rip I have not heard of yet. Looks like it's gonna be a Netflix movie. A group of Miami cops discovers a stash of millions in cash, leading to distrust as outsiders learn about the huge seizure, making them question who they rely on. So it sounds like it's going to be kind of like a thriller. It's pretty long. It's like 2 hours long. So it'll be
Yeah.
on Netflix. But I don't have a lot to offer to you guys for that one. Project Hail Mary, I'm super excited for. My brother actually he read the book a couple years ago, and he keeps texting me. He's like, "Man, I can't wait for this movie." He's like, "That book is so good," and he's like, "I can't believe they're making a movie out of it." He's like, "I can't wait." So, the first trailer came out, and I think it looks awesome. I need to read the book at some point, but it looks great. Isn't the yeah, Lord and Miller are directing it?
Hmm.
Yeah, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and then Drew Goddard is one of the writers on it, and I love him, so I think it'll be good. I know very minimal on it, but it looks awesome. Wuthering Heights, I mean, they've done a few iterations of that over the years, and it's going to be somewhat similar, just probably more talented actors nowadays, depending on who they got. So, probably won't watch that one unless I'm caught up on everything else. But it's interesting for those of you who like, those British romance things. So, and then Send Help. I finally saw the trailer in theaters when we went to Predator Badlands, and man, it looks so much fun. And obviously, Sam Raimi, he only directs movies, every 8 to 10 years, it seems like. So I'm excited to see him jump back in the directing chair. We have an amazing Sam Raimi episode to prep you guys for that one. My buddy CJ, Sidekick Inc., who's a huge influencer, um, one of the most diehard Sam Raimi fans I know. I asked him to be on, and he obliged, and he was fantastic. He couldn't ask for a better guest. So that's a fun episode. So when that comes out, we'll prep you guys for Send Help. So I know Spring, I can't speak for him, but I know I'm super amped for Send Help. So
Yeah, I think just to piggyback on that, I enjoy um I enjoy Rachel McAdams kind of playing against part in this movie.
yeah,
Most of the time, she's the attractive one. She's the one that's getting the guy. In this one, she's playing the nerd that nobody wants to be around because she smells funny, and then she has to be the one that survives and protects her boss on this deserted island when they crash. It's just a really fun, and I think I'm anxious to kind of see what the Raimi-isms are in that story. It'll be fun to see another Raimi film because it feels like it's been a while.
yeah,
Multiverse of Madness, of course, was the last one that he directed that I remember, uh, and that was good, but it was in the Marvel universe, so it was
right.
had some things around it. So, Wuthering Heights, I'm actually looking forward to that one. Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, who's on a tear right now.
Oh, man, he's killing
Um,
it.
and so it'll be fun. I actually don't know the story, but Kristen's reading the book right now, so that she could be on the episode with us and
But
talk
yeah,
us through what we need to know about Wuthering Heights. Project Hail Mary. I read The Martian, which is another book Andy Weir wrote before this one. So I read that one, and that movie was great. And so I'm really anxious for this one. I haven't read it yet, but it definitely is one of those that was on the radar. Everybody was talking about it. The Rip, I did want to mention Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are in it. They're playing some of those cops. I do remember seeing a trailer for it, but it was earlier this year, so I guess they postponed it. And then, of course, Supergirl, kind of seconding everything you said. It is interesting to me that in the trailer, they're still not talking about it being Supergirl or Woman of Tomorrow. They're just putting the logo up there. So it's like they're leaving it open. Do we want to go subtitled or not? Is what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
But it's also, it does. I mean, the trailer for me didn't change my excitement either way. I think it was surprising of how much it felt like Guardians of the Galaxy when it's not directed by James Gunn. But it had that vibe to it, which is not a bad thing at all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like it kind of had that feel to it. And it does feel more alien, which is why, she wasn't on Earth when we saw Superman in that one, right? She was off in space somewhere. And so she's going to end up coming to Earth and all that. But it just is it's an interesting story. I'm excited to see it. Millie Alcott, like you said, she was came on the scene with House of the Dragon, and then she was also in a show with Julianne Moore that Christian and I watched, and that was really good. I think that was on HBO. So she was good in that. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great role for her, hopefully to kind of propel her into kind of that superstardom spot.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Cool. All right, let's go to our 15 through 11. We've got Greenland 2, Migration, Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, Street Fighter, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and then The Sheep Detectives. I'll go first on this one. I think I never saw the first Greenland, but some people say it's a pretty good, kind of one of those post-apocalyptic movies. It's pretty good. And this one looks to be kind of following that same tone. You got the same actors in it, so I'm sure it'll be good. Kind of in that realm of where the movies are, and I think that's actually coming out pretty soon too, in January, I think. Hunger Games: Sunrise of the Reaping. I'm anxious to see that story. I think it's fun that they're dancing in that realm, but it's still pre the original Hunger Games. So I don't mind them doing that. I think it's good. I enjoyed the Songbirds and Snakes, and I think I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the next story. Street Fighter. I don't know what to think about this film, but all I can tell you is that trailer was like straight out of the arcade, man. The trailer, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work as a film. That's my only issue. I don't know how this is going to work in a film, but that felt so much like the game. It's like not even fun. It's like ridiculously like the game. Yeah. So anxious to kind of see how that plays out. And then 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, another one that's dropping next week. ZombieCon creators Aaron Anye and Kyle Valle joined us again to talk through their favorite zombie films, and so we are going to have them to talk about that. That'll be dropping next Monday, so very excited for that too. I'm looking forward to that one. I think this is the second in a proposed trilogy of the 28 Years Later storyline, so that's fun. And then Sheep Detectives looks hilarious. The sheep begin trying to solve the murder of their owner because he used to read mystery novels to them, and so now it's just like it looks silly, and it's got a great fun cast of characters, voice actors, all kind of joining the party. Just so it just looks silly, but also could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, same as you. I never saw the first Greenland, but I remember, friends, or I think my brother actually watched the first one and he said it was pretty decent. He watched it one night with his wife because they were just scrolling through. But yeah, Gerard Butler, I mean, he kind of gets typecast and all that same stuff the last 10 years. So it's probably fun. Morena Baccarin from Gotham and the Deadpool movies, obviously. She's in it. It's probably fun if you liked the first one. I'm assuming you'll maybe like the second one. The new Hunger Games does look interesting. I need to catch up on some of the sequels, but Francis Lawrence directed it, and he's coming fresh off The Long Walk, which he directed, based on the Stephen King novel, which I have not got to see yet, but I hear just glowing reviews that it's amazing. So he also directed the first trilogy of Hunger Games movies as well. So it's somebody who's familiar with the subject matter,
Mm-hmm.
familiar with the books and the same actors. I think the cast looks pretty good. I mean, you got who did I see? Maya Hawke, uh, Glenn Close, Jesse Plemons, Jennifer Lawrence is coming back, Ralph Fiennes, Josh Hutcherson's making his return. Elle Fanning. You got Kieran Culkin, who's fresh off of an Oscar win. So, I mean, should be good if you like the Hunger Games. Now's the time to get back into it. And same as you with Street Fighter, like that. I had to watch that trailer probably 20 times. It's not a very long trailer, but I probably threw that thing on repeat like 20 because I just could not believe how it was like overstimulation, like my eyes. I was like, holy crap. And like I even liked the song thing they did in the beginning. And then
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like sounded arcade style-ish. But just like the cast, when they announced the cast, I think the whole internet broke because everybody was like, what the hell? Or like Andrew or not yeah, Andrew Santino, the comedian, is in it, and Eric Andre, and the director, Kitao Sakuri, he actually is close friends with Eric Andre's. He directed like the Eric Andre show and A Bad Trip with Eric Andre that came out a few years ago. So looks like he mostly does like comedy stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope that doesn't really translate. I mean, if it is a funny scene, obviously you want that
Sure.
comedic stuff to happen. But yeah, like this cast is just you look at it and you don't even think it's a real you don't think it's like a real cast. Like you
Mm-hmm.
got David Dashelman, who I love. He's gonna be M. Bison out of anybody that I would have picked. I don't think I would have seen him as that character. You got
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa as Blanca. You got 50 Cent as Balrog. Orville Peck, who's an incredible artist. He's playing Vega. Cody Rhodes, the wrestler. I mean, Eric Andre's in it. Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live is playing somebody. So, like, just a wild cast of characters. But if you haven't seen the teaser yet, go watch the teaser. Just be careful because it might overstimulate you to the point of like you won't be able to like go to sleep. So, I'm excited. I want to see what the final product looks like because I think it looks like a lot of fun. And then obviously, you already touched on 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple. I think it looks awesome. I enjoyed 28 Years Later. Um, Not quite, my expectations weren't quite as met as like the original 28 Days Later, just because that's such an epic film. But I love the, ingenuity that they had with the iPhone cameras and setting up different rigs that have never been used before to do cool
Mm-hmm.
shots in the movie. So I'm hoping that this one's really cool. I think it will, and I'm excited to see the final episode that we recorded with Aaron and Kyle because it was awesome. They're such wonderful people, and we just love talking cinema in general. So I'm excited for that one. And then obviously Sheep Detectives. After he started talking about it, I remember seeing the trailer for it. Yeah, that looks cute. I mean, that looks like a total movie I would just throw on and kind of have fun with. So I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. We are at our top 10. This is not our top 10. This is the IMDb sort of by
Holy
popularity top 10.
smokes.
So it's
There's some good
nuts.
ones though.
10, Dune Part 3. 9, Mercy. 8, Madden. 7, Spider-Man Brand New Day. 6, Disclosure Day. Run it down. What are you thinking on this five?
Yeah, we got some epic ones. So obviously Dune Part 3. I also have to say Dune Part 3 is coming out the same weekend as Avengers Doomsday, and they're calling it Doomsday, kind of like what they did with Barbenheimer and everything. So um, crazy that they decided to put those two together. But I mean, for us people who love movies, I mean, that's a pretty solid weekend when those two come out. The first two were, I mean, incredible. I think that subject matter and those movies and that story was meant for the people who worked on it to do, because there's nobody that you could have do those movies today better than them. So that
Mm-hmm.
one's awesome. Mercy, Mercy, I do remember seeing the trailer. That one looks, I don't know if it's gonna necessarily be really solid as a whole, but it looks fun. I mean, it looks exciting. I mean, it looks like a crazy thriller set in the future, with Chris Pratt, and now Rebecca Ferguson's awesome. So I think she'll be great. Madden looks pretty interesting. I mean, I'm a huge NFL fan, and I've been following. I used to play the Madden games all the time, and like the fact they got Nick Cage to play John Madden and Christian Bale's going to play Al Davis, and like that's so insane. Mostly prosthetics, but it looks awesome. Um, my parents got to go to a Super Bowl when I was a kid. They got tickets from my dad's boss. It was in New Orleans. It was Green Bay versus New England, and it was like 1997. And the hotel they stayed at, John Madden was in their hotel. So my dad actually, he has a picture. He like met John Madden in the lobby like the next morning. He's a huge guy, and he's just a big personality. I mean, he's passed away since then, but um, I mean, he's just such an icon in the sports world. So I mean, I'm excited to see how they do this like biopic in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool. Spider-Man Brand New Day, the stuff I've heard about and seen so far, it's gonna be great. I mean, it's gonna be tough to top No Way Home just because that had so many layers of like the nostalgia stuff with bringing people back with the story was good. I mean, it had a lot of heart and emotion. I mean, I remember going in the theaters and just crying a few times in that movie just because there was some scenes that you're just like, dang, that's like when Andrew Garfield saves Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
My wife had not seen the Amazing Spider-Man 2, so she didn't know why everybody was getting so emotional. And so
Yeah.
I told her, and then I showed her the scene from that, and she was like, "Oh my god, that's terrible." So I mean, that movie was so great. So it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna top that, but I mean, I think they've done a great job with the Spider-Man movies up to this point. I don't think I gotta look real quick. Yeah, this will be the first one in the Tom Holland one that is not directed by um what's his name? Joe. No, what's his name? I forget the director of the other Spider-Mans. Oh my god, drawing a blank.
Oh, good.
But anyway, it's not directed by him because I believe he's off doing
John Watts.
a John Watts. Sorry, yeah, I was
Yeah.
drawing a brain fart for a second, but yeah. So this one's directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. He's directed. Oh, he directed Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, which I actually thought was a really solid Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it kind of stands on its own. I hope I know Shang-Chi is going to come out in one of the Avengers movies soon, but um, and then I guess they are going to do a sequel. It's in pre-production right now, so but yeah, so that should be. He's at least worked in the Marvel universe, so that should be fun. And then obviously Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man. Disclosure Day, I think looks awesome. I know we got the little tease poster in Times Square, and everybody was like, "Oh, I wonder what it's gonna be." And then we got our first trailer. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and man, nobody does aliens and science fiction like the master who's been doing it for years, Steven
Mm-hmm.
Spielberg. So he has his own little take where he kind of has every genre in one. Like you get the kind of horror elements, but you also get the actual science fiction. You get a lot of heart. I mean, he's done some awesome alien flicks over the years. So great
Yeah.
cast. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I'm kind of in the same boat as you as in most of these. Mercy gives me Minority Report vibes. Um, Dune Part 3, it's one of my probably my third most anticipated for me. Like the one I'm really excited for that one. I'm kind of not that I'm Spider-Man out. It's just I don't know. I just haven't seen enough to know to form an opinion on whether I'm gonna be excited for this one or not. I'm
Sure.
excited because it's a Marvel film. I'm excited because I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. But so that's all I got, which is that's enough to get me in the theater, you know. But I don't know what to expect. Um, and then Disclosure Day, I'm kind of in that same boat. I don't know what to expect. I'm excited because it's Steven Spielberg, and I like Emily Blunt also. Let's go. I'm going to be at the theaters. You know,
Right.
that's it. Like,
Perfect tagline. Let's go.
yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, you know, sometimes like I think we were talking to a friend of ours that doesn't like to see trailers before they come out, and it's like I'm kind of like that too. Like if I can avoid them. Now, if you go to the movies too often, well, you can't avoid a trailer. But I don't try to research more. I just want to kind of go in as cold as possible. So should be good.
Heck yeah.
All right. And again, this top five is not our top five. It is the IMDb most popular movies. Now we don't know what's causing that popularity. It could be that a trailer dropped, or it could be that something happened and people are going and looking at the site. So who knows why this is a top five? But we've got at five, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. Four is Digger, Tom Cruise. Three is Avengers Doomsday. Two, The Odyssey, and one, Apex, um,
Woo!
which stars Charlize Theron as a adrenaline junkie who is you know, discovers that nature isn't the only thing out for blood on her excursion here. So really
Yeah.
random that one hit number one. The other
Right.
three, the three prior to that make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna let you take it away.
So yeah, Peaky Blinders. I guess I didn't know they were making uh I'd heard they were thinking about making a movie spinoff or whatever, but I didn't know that was official. So that one I know it has a huge fan base, and we like Peaky Blinders in this house just mainly for the cast alone, but um I'm a little shocked that it is as popular on IMDb to be number five. So that's exciting. I mean, they haven't done a series in a while for that, so should be good. Looks like it's not going to be super long, and I mean, anytime you can get Cillian Murphy back, like that's that's a good thing. So I'm sure we'll watch that. It appears it'll probably be a Netflix. I know Netflix has said they're gonna put movies in the theaters, hopefully, but probably have like a small run and then it'll just be on streaming. Um, Digger, I am very excited, but I think why it's so high, it's directed by Alejandro Inarritu, who is a visionary. It's one of the, I mean, great. But he has not actually, he's worked on a couple short projects the last few years, but he has not released a movie that he directed since 2015 when he did The Revenant, which of course got Leo his Oscar finally. I remember seeing The Revenant in the theater and like I mean, it's that's about as real of a movie. You heard all the stuff from the set, like they filmed in the actual nature. Leo was like eating fish out of the water, and like actually got in a carcass of an animal. Like, it's crazy stuff. So when people are like, he didn't really have much words. Why did he win an Oscar? I'm like, well, A, he had a long career where he got screwed out of an Oscar, and B, he was literally living in the frontier days. So that's why he won an Oscar. But in Naruto is the man. I mean, Birdman, one of my favorite movies ever made. Um, he has this style about how he shoots things. Just a fantastic director. I mean, you go back to his early work. So when they announced this recently, I was excited because he's making his return to directing. But the star of the movie is going to be Tom Cruise, and you can't make Hollywood cinema without like our last true Hollywood star, Tom Cruise. So like, it's gonna be, say what you will. People, when I worked at the video store, wouldn't rent movies with Tom Cruise because of how he is in real life. But like I don't care. Like that dude puts butts in the seats. Like that guy
Mm-hmm.
loves cinema more than anybody I know that I listen to. So I'm excited. Digger is not it's not going to be in my top like two, but it's high up there on my list for 2026. Obviously, Avengers Doomsday we have next. We all know why that one's going to be huge. I mean, it's they're trying to get people back into Marvel because they had a few not bad years, but few rough years financially. They just didn't make as much on some of their movies and their TV shows, but they're well received still because they still know how to make stuff. So I think, bringing all these back, like the X-Men actors and, obviously Robert Downey Jr. I'm interested to see how they do that plot line,
Mm-hmm.
like alternate universe where he's Doom and all that stuff. Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, they just put out the teaser today for Chris Hemsworth's Thor return, which is cool. But yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, we haven't gotten an official trailer yet. I know they're putting a different teaser in each of the Avatar that's in theaters right now, Fire and Ash. So if you go right now, you'll get a different teaser for Doomsday in each one. And then I think one of my most anticipated, one of Cinephile's most anticipated movies is The Odyssey, which is number 2 on IMDb. This movie's going to be gigantic. I mean, we have Chris Nolan, who goes big or goes home, and he doesn't ever go home. So he's going to knock this out of the park. I just seeing the behind the scenes stuff and then the first trailer that came out last week. That's another trailer that I watched probably 20 times already because I can't wait to see the trailer on a big screen. I cannot wait to be in the theaters watching this on the biggest screen possible because I mean it's gonna be something for us. I mean, we've had some big movies that were meant for the big screen over the last 20 years even. But like he's taking on the Odyssey, which is like a crazy. I mean, forget the Dune franchise. Like that's pretty epic on a special effects level. But Chris Nolan does everything. We all know he does everything as realistic as he can. And I cannot believe that he's taken this movie on. And I'm excited. I'm happy for him. I'm hoping it just annihilates the box office because we need a gigantic movie. We haven't had a huge movie in a long time, probably since Titanic. So we need something raw and epic. And what better way to do it than Chris Nolan doing the Odyssey? So I'm super
Mm-hmm.
excited. Apex does look interesting. I am a little surprised that it's number 1 on IMDb. I mean, I know Charlize Theron hasn't really done a whole lot recently, so maybe that's why. Because I know people love her. She is great. So it should be fun, but if I were to have my say, I'd probably swap those. The Odyssey would probably be number 1. So
Yeah, for sure, man. All of that stuff, I second everything. Definitely loved Birdman and Revenant. So excited to see Digger, what goes with that one. Avengers Doomsday, getting the old band back together is what it feels like. Um, and then hopefully kind of kicking off into something that can be great. You know, um, I love the Marvel movies. It's just been a little bit rougher than this couple phases. And then Christopher Nolan, just he you talked about guys that don't miss, and he doesn't miss. David
No.
Fincher, I think you were talking about David Fincher. Chris Nolan doesn't miss either. I mean, there's a couple that have been less received, like Tenet, because it was really really heady and complex. But from a storytelling perspective and from a visual perspective, he was doing something unique and exciting, and it was fun to watch, even if it was a little confusing. But the Odyssey, to take this epic of a story and to tell it in using all of modern technology, and I'm so praying and excited for when they put those tickets on sale for the 70 millimeter.
Right.
I'm going to see it as many times
You
as
might have
possible.
to snag me one. I might have to
I
come
know.
if it's
I'm
if it's
I'm gonna
playing
get
on your big
yeah
screen.
yeah. I'm
I'm
definitely
I'm
gonna.
definitely coming down for that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get 3 tickets then at least. So if you wanna join us in Dallas at the 70 millimeter, let me know. Hit us up in the
Yeah.
comments. Hit us up on Instagram, whatever, YouTube
Heck
comments.
yeah.
Let's do a meetup. But man, that's one I'm just super excited to see. Plus, I mean, he's shooting the whole thing. First time ever a film has been shot from start to finish at on the IMAX, using IMAX cameras. First time ever. So that's
Yes.
going to be nuts. And to have it be in 70 millimeter 5 perf is just nuts and crazy also. So very excited for that. Did you happen to put together your top 5? I know we had originally talked about that. Did you have
Um.
that?
No, but I mean, I know just off the list we just went down. I mean, I know my top
Yeah.
five for sure.
So if you want to just throw that together in your head real quick, I'll do
Okay.
my top 5, just kind of based off that. Funny enough, Werewolf is my number 5.
Nice.
That one jumped up, just as we were talking, just because like I really enjoyed Nosferatu and I really like that director's style, and I want to see more from him. And so I think him tackling this other from that same kind of era, it's just going to be cool. Number 4, Scream 7. Can't it has to be in that top 5. Number 3 is Dune 3. Um, it probably could have gone above my number 2, but I feel like I still have so much anticipation for number 2 being Avengers Doomsday. I want it to be good. And then number 1 is the Odyssey. So that's my top 5. And I'm gonna create a list on Letterboxd, and throw my top 5, or I'll throw my top 15 for this
Yeah.
year in
I
there.
need to start doing that too. I'm so bad about that. So my number 5 is the Odyssey. My number 4 is the Odyssey. My number 3 is I don't even know, a little Christopher Nolan movie called The Odyssey. No,
Yeah.
my number 5, yeah, not in any particular order, but I'm gonna go with you too. Like I'm super amped to see what Robert Eggers does with a werewolf movie, just because of what he did with Nosferatu. I thought it was so good. So I'm gonna throw that in my top 5 somewhere. Digger, I gotta throw that in there just because I've been a fan of in Naruto for so long, and he hasn't done a movie in almost 11 years. I'm excited. Very intrigued. I mean, to get Tom Cruise to be your lead, I'm sure he signed up right away. Tom just loves
Mm-hmm.
cinema, so I can't wait to see the two of them work together. Um, the Odyssey is still probably going to be my number 1, but if I had to throw a couple more in there, I mean, I am really excited for Doomsday. I'm not. I don't know if I would. I mean, I think I'll still throw it in my top 5 only because I'm anxious to see some of the old like X-Men people show up, because like the X-Men movies I love. So like X2 is one of my favorite Marvel
Mm-hmm.
property movies that I've ever seen. And then Dune 3, obviously. So I think my top 5 will be Werewolf, Digger, Dune 3, um Doomsday and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Only one different, we're very similar
Yeah.
in that respect, but
You guessed it.
yeah. Uh, but guys, there's so many. That was just the top 50. It
Right.
keeps going. So, we hope you are excited for this year. Go to the cinema, go to the movie theater.
Yes.
Don't just stream it. It's better together. It's better when the bigger screen. It's better with the sound. It's better with the crowd. Like,
we have to save cinema.
we have to. We want to see more things like the Odyssey. We want to see more things like Sinners and Weapons, and things like that hit our theaters and have that communal experience of enjoying a film together. Speaking of that, just went and saw Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair a few weeks ago. Sold out theater.
So awesome.
Just sitting there for 4.5 hours.
But that's so great to hear.
It was so amazing. Everybody's laughing, everybody's cheering, all the right things are happening. And nobody's on their phone. That was the best part. So yeah, theater movies are meant to be communal. It should be good. But that's our episode today. That's our most anticipated films of 2026. What's your most anticipated film for 2026? Throw it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And so until next time, keep watching movies.
See you guys later.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, you can check out all of our links at bio.site/moviesthatmakeyu. Feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep watching movies.